I walked in and found him, and I just called 911. I thought his coat was up over his head, like it was cold or something. I ran out, and then I ran back in. And then I realized it was something worse. And what we're talking about here is this perplexing situation in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm not really familiar with this guy, Rick Buchanan, also known as Slick Rick. No, not Rick the Ruler. Slick Rick, legendary hip-hop icon. We ain't talking about him. As you see the picture, bears no resemblance, looks nothing like Slick Rick at all. But this is his brother talking about how he found him. And you see what we're talking about. This man was headless. And I just can't quite understand how the authorities in the press releases on this are saying no foul play. Am I reading that wrong? Like, I just don't get it. But he said, you know, dude was still holding his keys and his pants were pulled down and the back door was open. And, you know, he says this being suspicious was an understatement. Just imagine that, though, going over to see a family member, your brother, a loved one, someone you mess with, someone you got love for. And you're just looking at him like, yo, what's going on? Why's he got his head covered up? Was he cold? His pants are fall down? He still got his keys in his hand? The back door's open? Wait a second. He's decapitated. His head is off his motherfucking shoulders. Now, in any research I've done on this as well, it doesn't go on to say where his head was, right? I mean, the dude's talking about the way it all looked. He thought maybe he just had his head covered up or something like that. That leads me to believe, obviously, he didn't see his head just laying on the floor somewhere nearby. So did they decapitate this man and run off with his dome piece? I mean, what a crazy story. We hear of homicides and stuff like that in the news all the time, but being decapitated, that's something else, man. Off with his head? Like, think about that. Other than some sick, twisted son of a bitch like Jeffrey Dahmer or someone like that who just wants to gruesomely, brutally murder people for the sake of it, like they're just twisted and get off on that in some sick, creepy way. You know, other than that, you don't really hear of people being decapitated. You feel me? It's not like something where if there's a beef or someone's got a hit out on someone. I mean, I know sometimes people will, you hear the saying, oh, there's 50,000 on his head, or they got money on this dude's head, or, yo, I got a hit out on such and such, 100,000 if you bring them to me, or dead or alive, or ish like that. But literally, I don't think anyone ever actually goes out in a beef fashion like this and cut someone's head off. It's some pretty crazy ish to see in the headlines. And I don't know, I'm just reacting to this raw in real time. I seen this and was like, man, I gotta tap in with the people in the blogosphere and see what they think about this, as I know sometimes I get some smart ass motherfuckers in the comments, like how I was saying they didn't say exactly where dude's head was at, or if they did, I missed it. You know, I'm just reacting to this quick and you know, want to talk with you guys, as sometimes I like making content like that better than diving all the way in. You know, I like to hear what other people got to say, or see if other people have been intrigued by the case as well and done their own digging. But in these initial reports, I don't believe I've seen anything about where his head was at. But it's just still crazy to me to hear the police saying there's no signs of foul play, as in how he died. Like, what? His head's cut off. I feel like that's just about as damn near as foul as you can get. But apparently this guy is known in the Memphis area. He's a DJ and a musician, and you know, would just try to go out and get work and do him or whatever. And I guess over the years, the past 10 years or so, he had become a bit of a recluse after a near-death experience where an attempt was taken on his life in a robbery.
Two guys with bandanas run down the wall with pistol. Just open fire. Clack, clack, clack. I didn't even have $1 on me.
Memphis musician and DJ Ricky Buchanan remembers running inside the stage stop and falling to the floor moments after being shot.
I laid down right at the bar. Instead of running back in the club, laid down. I said, I'm going in the shot. I'm about to die.
So you heard him talking about this robbery. Thought he was going to die. He got shot. He lived. And I don't know, some people they have a close brush with death, and they're like, man, I got a second lease on life, or a second chance, a new lease on life. They get out there, get active, and do what they do, and, you know, live life to the fullest. Sometimes people react in other ways. This guy, I guess, became a bit of a recluse, was having problems getting work, and I don't know, it just affected him in a very, very negative way. And he spent a lot of the time in the house. So I don't know, man, you know, just reacting to this off the rip, being robbed like that and shot, I don't know, you know, it kind of makes you feel. And then obviously the way in which this guy died, someone came to his crib and killed him or whatever. It makes you wonder if maybe he was messing around in the streets, doing some D-rugs or things of that nature. And, you know, not saying all DJs and musicians party, but, you know, in that world where you're going around to bars and stuff like that, trying to book gigs, you know, drugs, partying, that's just a part of that lifestyle, you know. So maybe that could have played a factor. Maybe, I don't know, just speculating, just freestyling, throwing it out there. We'll have to see what else comes out about this. I don't know. And the fact that almost getting bodied kept him in the crib a lot, and, you know, he wasn't doing so well in that fashion. Maybe he was doing some different type things to cope with it, if you feel me, you know, psychologically. He had to get his mind right, maybe. We'll have to wait and see. But as I stated before, even a death or something like that in the streets, it's just not typical for things to end in this fashion with someone beheaded, you know. So jump in the comments, let me know what you think about this story. Let me know if you've seen this as well and was like, what in the fuck is going on? Are you from the Memphis area? I'm very intrigued to hear from y'all. You know, have you heard of this guy, Rick Buchanan, Slick Rick? Anyone from Memphis? Tap in, let me know what you think. And man, I can only imagine his brother as well too, finding him. You know, when it comes to police 5-0 and all that, investigating situations, they always say, typically, right, everyone is a suspect. Imagine his brother, if his brother didn't do this ish, which I'm not saying he did, but imagine being the brother and going in and finding something horrific like that, and then if they're grilling you and questioning you right after that, I'd be like, man, I need a day. Are you kidding me? I just found this horrific scene here. Like, fuck off. But yeah, what a crazy story. Slick Rick beheaded in Memphis. Stay tuned for updates. It's Jay Coffee signing out, y'all. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace.